Look. If you don't want to make that change within yourself, it's not going to get better. This might not apply to everybody. But if you feel like you're rock bottom, okay, and you're hoping for a better day, but you literally are doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, that's a definition of insanity. You are provided with a choice every day. You are provided with multiple choices throughout the entire day. Take that choice, make that change. You've identified a problem. You're saying you're rock bottom. Got it. You're there now. There's only one way, and it's up. So change your mindset. Use that choice and go a freaking different direction. Love y'all. Faceman VTT out.
Day 3 of retirement. As an infantryman, I was asked if I could clean the sink. So let's look at this. Definitely some kind of grime on there. And I open up the cabinet. What do I use? Nothing comes to mind. Like my experiences, my skill set. Nothing. Wait a minute. Everyone knows this is how you clean everything. Infantry, retired.
You can just take it.
Would you like a military discount?
Do you offer one?
Honestly, cap of the day.
Thank you.
CC's Pizza is the county fair of restaurants. You go in there, you look around, you feel a little bit better about yourself, then you realize that you're in there too. Tell me I'm wrong. Well, let's be honest. Not everybody's made for this life. It's scary. You gotta jump out of a plane while it's moving. That's not natural. It's high, it's fucking wet outside sometimes, it's snowy, it's hot, it's dry, it's shitty. Who the fuck would want to be airborne? Best job I ever had.
This is the Veteran Trash Talk Hour, hosted by Nick, Dave, and Buddy. Real warriors making fun of other real warriors. Try to not get triggered.
What is up? Happy Saturday, everybody. Welcome to episode 130 of the Trash Talk Hour. Special guest today is Alan with Armed Forces Brewing Company. Got some good stuff here. And today I'm joined by Nick and Buddy. Cheers.
Season 3.
Yeah, season 3, episode 2.
Episode 2, whatever. We're doing a thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're doing a thing.
Little confusion with the time today, huh? Starting and
It's like Yellowstone. That's how we are.
Nick's in the mountains, but he's not Mountain Standard Time. And
right.
Yeah.
Like, if you see fucking mountains, you should be Mountain Standard Time. Everybody knows this, right? Like, I'm sitting here like, why is everybody giving me shit? I'm not late. Like, you're late. You're early.
It's just some good beer, and we're going to get into all that here soon. But I'm going to kickstart it real quick with a conspiracy today. I was actually going to talk about this last week because this is like the bombshell of bombshells that just occurred back in July. But a Peruvian village was under attack by aliens, so that was kind of important. I had to cover that, okay? So today I'm going to cover
Turns out they're still holding them off.
They're still holding them off, buddy. They're still
they're still holding off the aliens. What do you think?
Aliens, yep. Crazy situation. But anyway.
It's like Ukraine. They're tracking the
Yes.
land lost to the aliens.
Yeah.
Like, General Petraeus is doing a thing on it every time. I like that.
They've called in the Peruvian llama men and now they have the Peruvian Air Force. They're flying on like those big condors.
Yeah.
Wow.
Swooping down.
I think that's Avatar.
That's Avatar.
That's where they got it from.
The predators out there, alien, like all kinds of shit going on. Yeah. I see you looked a little bit further into it, buddy. Thanks for researching that. So we're going to talk about, you guys know about the congressional hearing that occurred? Well, the Oversight Committee, July 26th, with Ryan Graves, who was a former U.S. Navy pilot, Major David Grush, former intelligence officer, and then Commander David Fravor. They basically went in front of the House committee and testified on UAPs, UFOs, aliens, technology, all kinds of stuff. And it was like an hour and 20-minute thing in front of Congress. It was pretty wild. I watched the whole thing because I'm a big alien UFO buff. I sent a quick video. about 3 minutes of like the best things that were discussed. So Chris is going to play that, and then after that, we're going to discuss it. So Chris, go ahead and play that video for me.
We have crashed craft, stated earlier. Do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
As I've stated publicly already in my News Nation interview, biologics came with some of these recoveries. Yeah.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to that are currently still on the program.
Based on your experience and extensive conversations with experts, do you believe our government has made contact with intelligent extraterrestrials?
Something I can't discuss in public setting.
And we did meet with one member of the flight crew who took the image. The image was of something that I am not able to attach to any human capability, either from the United States or from any of our adversaries. And they saw a sequence of 4 craft in a clear diamond formation for which there is a radar sequence that I alone have observed in the United States Congress. One of the pilots goes to check out that diamond formation and sees a large floating, what I can only describe as an orb, again, like I said, not of any human capability that I'm aware of. And when he approached, he said that his radar went down, he said that his FLIR system malfunctioned, and that he had to manually take this image from one of the lenses, and it was not automated in collection, as you would typically see in a test mission.
Grush, as a result of your previous government work, have you met with people with direct knowledge or have direct knowledge yourself of non-human origin craft?
Yes, I personally interviewed those individuals.
Mr. Grush, as a result of your previous government work, have you met with people with direct knowledge or have direct knowledge yourself about ATs, advanced technologies that the U.S. government has?
Based on conventional advanced tech, I was briefed to the preponderance of the Defense Department's both space and aerospace compartmented programs. Yeah.
I don't want to cut you off, but how does a program like that get funded?
I will give you generalities. I can get very specific in a closed session, but misappropriation of funds and
does that mean
self-fund.
Does that mean that there is money in the budget that is said to go to a program, but it doesn't, and it goes to something else?
Yes, I have specific knowledge of that. Yep.
Has the U.S. government become aware of actual evidence of extraterrestrial, otherwise unexplained forms of intelligence? And if so, when do you think this first occurred?
I like to use the term non-human. I don't like to denote origin. Keeps the aperture open, both scientifically. Right. Certainly, like I've discussed publicly previously, 1930s.
Do you have any personal knowledge of someone who's possibly been injured working on legacy UAP reverse engineering?
Yes.
Okay. How were they injured? Is it something like a radioactive type situation or something we didn't understand?
You can imagine assessing an unknown unknown. There's a lot of potentialities you can't fully prepare for.
No. So that's like, yeah. And so the whole hearing is insane. It goes an hour and 20 minutes. Commander Fravor or whatever, they had that tic-tac shaped UFO that was in California. That was released last year. So all kinds of crazy stuff. The major that was talking, he's been threatened already. Threatened with violence for coming out because he's a whistleblower as well. So it's a crazy thing, an hour and 20 minutes long. So my take on this. So I'm big into the UAP, UFO phenomena, but I'm 50-50 on this. So I'm also a big conspiracy theorist when it comes to Project Bluebeam, which I've discussed on the show, where the government is actually going to start talking about this stuff, stage a fake alien invasion to then bring in one world government and all that crazy stuff. So like part of me is like, yes, definitely this is happening. They're finally coming out. And then the other 50% of me is saying that this is actually all staged. There's a book you can read at Project Bluebeam, and the final stage is one world currency, one world government because of a fake alien threat. So I am 50-50 on this. That is my take. And I'll leave it at that. Our guest, Alan, what is your take on all of this?
Man, I'll tell you what, I have been a UFO buff since I was a itty bitty little kid.
Yep.
Dad in the U.S. Air Force was an intelligence officer and a navigator for C-130's transport group. And I was on to Project Blue Book when I was probably 10 years old. I was reading those books about Project Blue Book. For my birthday, my dad went out and I think he copied a bunch of Project Blueprint projects. I don't know how he got them, but they all had a blue page at the top and they were all these different cases. So here's my dad, I'm asking him, is this really true? Are there really aliens and stuff? And my dad would never say yes or no, but he would let me keep going down that path. He wouldn't keep me from it. This is a man who probably logged hundreds to thousands of hours of airtime around the world. So I'm a believer. I think it would be, and I think with Congress getting involved and whistleblowers and all this, that scale has actually tipped for me 70-30. I think there's a lot of hardware out there that our government or secret bases of our government are producing out there, but I think there really is alien intelligence out there that have been visiting Earth for a long time. I think the evidence is just there's too much evidence.
Yeah, and it's maybe they're just having a difficult time keeping it secret right now, because they also talked about on that hearing how many civilian pilots, there's hundreds of them that want to testify now of stuff that they experience in the air. But there's this whole little stigma that evolves around that. If you go and mention something like that, you get fired, or, it's just not talked about. But then there's a safety hazard as well.
Yeah, you're mentally unstable.
These commercial airline pilots are flying, and these freaking UAPs or UFOs are flying right by these aircraft, almost causing like mid-air collisions and stuff. And then the same thing with the government. There's hundreds of other pilots who want to report on this, but it's just one of those things that's been kept in the dark, So yeah, it's wild times, man. I've been into it since I was like 12 or 13. I started getting into the whole UFO, UAP thing, and
trolls.
We talked about trolls. Shout out to Boyd, right?
Yeah.
You read body language of these whistleblowers. They have everything to lose by coming forward. Correct. They're also taking an oath to tell the truth before Congress. Unless you're an idiot, I don't know who's going to go before Congress and just blatantly tell
what would be the point, right?
Story like that.
Bill Clinton.
I mean, these guys, none of these guys are writing any books or anything. Like, these guys are just, this is what happened. And the big one was a Tic Tac one that happened in 2004 in California. And then last year, the U.S. government finally released their UFO, UAP files. And the European countries have been doing it for a couple years now. So, like, it's all coming together. Who knows? Buddy, what's your take? Oh, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead, Alan.
I was just going to say, I could probably go before Congress and lie if I had, a beer drinking night with Big Earl the night before or something like that.
Especially if we're drinking cat shot, right?
There you go.
That would be late. That would be late by an hour. Like,
Buddy, what's your take on all this, brother? Is it all like to like bring in the whole one world government and just to scare us all, or is it actually real? Is it actually happening? Like, what's your take on all of it?
Here's my problem.
Why now?
Here's my problem with all of this, and it is every show that we talk about aliens is my problem with all of this.
Mm-hmm.
We are supposed
to talk
to
about the Kandahar Giant. I've talked about like
believe,
loser people and shit. Well, I guess they're aliens too, right?
We're supposed to believe logically that these aliens made it 11,000 light years across the galaxy and the universe, and then they crash on Earth. Like, they missed all the meteors, all the asteroids, all the other planets, and then they got to Earth and they were like, no.
Well, you're talking about like Roswell Area 51 with the crash site, but we're talking about things that are actually flying around too. Like, they're not all just crashing.
Yeah. But we were talking about biologics on the video that were taken from a crash site.
Yeah, entities.
Yeah. So it just, some shit just doesn't sit right with me. Like, if they can make it that far, what happened when they got here that they were just like, I can't do it anymore?
Maybe we shot them down.
Superior race.
Yeah, I mean, we're not that good.
Maybe we are, though. Maybe we do have the technology, because they talk a lot about the reverse engineering stuff that's occurring. So like maybe like, and there's another theory that they're actually not coming from space. There's another theory that they're actually underwater. There's these bases underwater, because there's a lot of videos where these things are. Well, I guess not, right? Maybe they're a different race of.
They're the missing
humans.
link of
They're
evolution.
the missing link. Yeah, who knows? You know,
or they've just been in Atlanta chilling this whole time, and then they're finally like, you know, they found out that Biden was the president, and they're like, it's time.
it's time.
Out of control. Somebody.
We must save your planet now.
Cheers to that. Cheers to
got
that.
to go tell them that they are just messing this whole thing up. Like it was a good deal we had going. Now we've got an idiot. Let's go. Let's get up there. So, I don't know.
You don't know. I mean, that's a fair assessment.
I find it hard to believe that they can make it that far, and then they make a careless error when they get here.
Yeah.
We were going to make a beer to tribute all this called "Take Me to Your Leader," and we decided no way now.
Oh, you should have, man.
That would be great.
Not with Biden in the White House.
Dude, could you imagine that? Could you imagine that conversation?
You should name that beer "Take Me to like the 4th or 5th person in command." I don't want to talk to the top 5 or 6. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. So your take is like you just don't know, huh? You're just like.
No, I think that aliens are probably a real thing. Statistically speaking, it's very hard to believe that we would be the only thing in the entire universe that's alive. Right. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I do also find it hard to believe that they could make it that far and then Peruvians can hold them off. They crash.
Peruvians are fucking them up now.
They made it through like asteroid belts, and then they were like, "Oh, that mountain!" It doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's also another theory, one more, that it's actually us in the future, and we're doing time traveling. Like our bodies, like thousands of years, just evolved to that where we don't need to communicate anymore. Our heads become bigger because, like, in our bodies, like we're not physically doing any activity. So I was on Joe Rogan. He had a guy on, and he was talking about that it could actually be us in the future time traveling.
Makes sense. Got to plant the seed somewhere.
Who knows, man?
Let's keep getting these guys lazier because you don't understand that all their muscle mass will go away and their heads will get bigger.
Yeah. You know what the funny thing about time travel is, though, right?
What's that?
Time travel, you also have to travel a distance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can't just go from like.
How do you know?
How do you know?
Because the Earth.
Have you done it before?
It's not stationary.
What are you telling us, buddy?
Yeah. So, you watched Back to the Future. That's
just saying.
1985.
If Marty McFly went back to the 1960s from the 1980s, he would have ended up somewhere in space waiting on the Earth to get there. Like, yeah.
Makes sense.
Makes sense, buddy. Yeah. We all know.
Past him.
Yeah.
Rather.
All right. Good take, buddy. Good take. Nick, what's your take on all of this?
I appreciate that. I always go last on this because I'm the one that brings in the common sense, right? The research, everything that you need to listen to and pay attention to. So
don't try this at home, kids.
Yeah. I have confirmation bias with aliens, so I don't believe in them at all. And this is the reason why. In 8th grade, I did a science fair project.
Nice.
Okay, right? And I did it on aliens. Okay. And I got a C.
Oh, they don't exist then.
So the only reason I got a C was because I was going to be on the varsity baseball team the next year. And so they passed me. Okay. But I literally got a grade report back saying this isn't science. And it crushed me because I spent like an hour doing that. Like, how you build what's it called? The diagram, but there's a word for it for science. You build it. Like my daughter's got like freaking, now that I knew my mistake, they did real science. Well, it helps that their mom's a marine biologist, but they won like the whole district, right? But I got a C because it's not science. Okay. So Buddy brought up statistics. Statistics is part of science. You're wrong. Okay. It's just, I got told by my 8th grade science teacher, not science. So not a chance, not happening. But the biggest thing that we always skip over when we talk about this stuff is when you paid attention to that video, where did the funding come from?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
They talk about that a little bit more in depth in the full video. It's kind of wild. Yeah. Like there's funding going somewhere, but then it's just funned out of that location and going into these black projects and stuff,
Yeah.
But then not even the president has
$1,000 for a hammer.
Yeah.
$80,000 for a toilet seat.
That's a great reference talking about aliens. Yeah. Great reference.
And yet I get in trouble when I order a bunch of gravel.
Well,
Right.
the major makes a joke about it because he's like, and I'm short $2 on my travel voucher. In the hearing, he talks about it, and my whole chain of command is up my ass.
Yeah. Yeah,
and some people laughed and others didn't get what he was saying, but like from a military standpoint, it's hilarious.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, and thanks to everybody chatting in the thread. What's up, Jimmy? One of our 2 YouTube watchers. Again,
what's up, Jeremy?
We don't pay any attention to YouTube, so sorry. But now that we got
true. I'm on YouTube.
I know, but you had to ask where he was commenting from.
Jimmy,
So-
you better give it a like, and I hope you subscribed already.
Well, he is. That's how we knew we were live. All right.
I know.
But we got our new crazy person. I think we banned Susan. She's on Gruntworks now, so she can still comment. But we got our other person here, Mike Olson. You're crazy, man, but I love you. Thanks for watching. It's good. He's a trip. But yeah, the money thing. That's 100% real. And so anybody, I got it. You're indoctrinated. Anybody who thinks that paying taxes is a good thing, all right, when it goes to the federal government, you're retarded. Okay, you're stupid. Right, that hearing right there when the congressman goes, "Who's funding this?" Right, like we are. Okay, all that stupid money they take out of your paycheck, it's going to test things in Roswell, and it's nobody knows how they're paying for it. Okay, so like I said, I think the next revolution spurred by aliens will be nobody's going to pay their taxes anymore. All right, once aliens exist. All right, so if they exist, I think we're out of taxes. I think that goes for.
Yeah, or we just pay a different tax.
Yeah, exactly.
We got to pay in quatrains or some shit, like
whatever
the hell they got.
Yeah, we're quatrains.
Yeah. We're here for your human hair follicles. We need all of your hair. Like we just have to pay. Like you have to get a haircut every month or 2.
Lupita is saying so. You all just joined for money.
What are you talking about? Join the service for money?
What do you mean?
Kinda. I was broke as fuck, Lupita. All right. When I got that first paycheck when I joined, I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna go buy a fucking car. Right? Like that's like, yeah.
25% interest rate. That's what we do.
Shit's real, Like I had a collections agency call the drill sergeants when I was in basic. Right? Like they're like, hey, you gotta come to staff duty. And I'm like, well, for what? Obviously I didn't say that to the drill sergeant. I was like, drill sergeant moved out. Right. And it's like the collection agency is calling me. I'm like, yeah, I just got in the Army. You'll get paid in a month. Relax.
While I didn't join the Army specifically for money, I probably would not have joined the Army for free.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's
that thing called work and making something. Yeah.
Lupita, I didn't call them. They called they found out where I was in basic training. Right. It's like shit. So, but anyways, Lupita, we don't know what you're saying. So
Lupita, thanks for tuning in. Don't know what you're saying.
We're not saying you're wrong. But like try to put something. Try to put something more. Put something more together than a fragment. Like put like a maybe like 3 or 4 sentences.
We need to do a show at like midnight. I think that would be entertaining for the chat.
Secret funding and a pay scale are 2 different things. Defined. A pay scale is not secret. You can Google it currently if you would like.
Right. That's why I love when a spouse says, like, I was trapped.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Looked it up.
Right.
Anywho.
I'm going to try this other beer. Thanks again, Alan.
Yeah, so what are you guys all drinking? I'm pissed. Mine's in the house.
I finished a lager. That was really good.
I'm
drinking this one right here.
The Cat Shot.
Preamble.
I would like
Preamble's
to say
good.
As Alan's boss, I don't really like the name Cat Shot. Everything should have a Army name. I would. So if we could just change that. The beer itself is delicious. The name, we're gonna have to have a talk, a meeting afterwards.
Yeah, we'll have a meeting of the owners. Right.
Yeah. Buddy, sir, I promise we have more. I promise we have a lot of Army beers coming out. Believe me, for the airborne, for the we've got Grunt.
That's the only one you should have. There's an airborne one. Once you have an airborne one, it'll be your bestseller.
Like, we've got a 19 kilo coming out for
that ain't gonna
Cruise.
Sell. That ain't gonna sell.
Does it never leave the truck?
We got a ton of beers coming out.
Takers
does it ever leave the truck?
Yeah, takers drink White Claw. So yeah. So, PJ said I better get some of those brews. PJ, you're not an owner, okay? So go buy stock. We'll talk about this in a couple minutes. Go buy stock in the company, PJ, and you can be an owner. All right, and then
me.
Yeah,
like PJ, I got 2 6-packs here. I'll bring some over later.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I had to get to do my book of Earl today, and again, this is my favorite part of the weekend because I started a podcast, so as I love to talk, and now you have to listen to me, or you can just like exit out. It's the best. Okay. I talked about this on the live ad hoc show we did a couple days ago for Task Force Lahaina. All right. It was weird. I had an old Ranger buddy who was doing some work at Fort Bliss, and he comes up to me and he says, "Hey, man," he's like, "we should do something, Veterans for Hawaii," because we both served in Hawaii. We did our first sergeant time there together, and I was like, "Yeah, that's a good idea." I was like, "Let me throw out to the network here on Veteran Trash Talk and see what we can do." Literally within an hour, okay, we had a plan to go live. And we had the gentleman who orchestrated the Pineapple Express, right? Flanders Fields, work in Ukraine. We had them networking with us immediately. And I'm going to tell you guys something that I'm learning. I'm still learning now on this chat thread that we have. It's a Signal or something like that. So we're on Signal and we're in this chat thread. There's people from all the news agencies on there now. And like right away, you got Ben Owen, who's a phenomenal human being. He's the guy that's always got the sign up saying like nobody's coming to help you.
That dude's just fucking cheers.
And he's coming on the show on the 30th again for his new nonprofit, which is chasing monsters like sex traffickers. But he was like, first things first, you gotta stop all the conspiracy things. That's like, don't let that happen. That'll ruin your movement. And he's like, if you want to be like boots on the ground, you need a tactical operations center on the ground, and you need it there right away. And literally, while we were going live, we established that. Like Scott came on and said, "I got 2 guys, 2 surfers. That one's a veteran. I just did a podcast with them. They're on the ground. They can get stuff. Those are our point of contacts." And then literally like 20 minutes later, we had a chaplain who does. He's a pastor and he does chaplain work for the Maui Police Department. And so it's like he's like right. All that happened because of Veteran Trash Talk. Obviously where they're coming from, but I bring this up about fear all the time, and I've said it before. Fear is a natural feeling, right? There's things that we should be afraid of, right? Like if you're on a train track and a train's coming, right? Like you should get off, right? You should be afraid because that shit will kill you, right? Now the other things that hampers a lot of people, not just veterans, but the fear of uncertainty and not embracing ambiguity with a journey, cripples you. So when I was asked to start a Task Force Lahaina, right away it started, well, I don't fucking know anybody. I can't go to Maui. There's nothing I can do about this. I can't. Like right, those doubts started coming into your head.
Immediately, reasons that are coming into your head why you should not do it. Yep.
Correct.
Yep.
And that's natural, right? Mm-hmm. But what sets us apart are successful people, and you can determine success however you want, is they put those thoughts aside and say, fuck it. All right, I'm going to give it a shot. Mm-hmm. Right? And then I'm going to fail probably 3 or 4 times, and I'm going to keep going.
And that's okay.
Right? Yeah, it's good. And Dave says it in the beginning of the show on his little blurb about, insanity, trying to do the same stupid shit over and over again. But it's okay to be afraid. Right. But and we're talking to the veteran community when you're transitioning and or even admitting that you have a problem, right? And you might need to go, seek therapy for it. And I'm at a convention right now for suicide prevention in Reno. And I ran into old Frankie Velez, old Sergeant Major Velez.
Oh, God.
Right. Ran into him. Friggin' big high five to him. He's still old as dirt. Looks like he smokes Marlboros because he does. Right. And, but, great human being to me, at least. Other people have different opinions. And he's talking to me about transition right away. He's like, "Hey, man, like, you struggle with PTSD?" It's like the first thing he asked me. And I was like, "Well, aspects of it, yes." And he goes, "Good. I like you said that." He's like, "It's aspects." And I was like, he goes, Like, fuck, man, I yell at my kids a lot more now that I'm out. And I was like, you know what, Frank? I was like, I literally go to therapy for that exact same reason. I go for that exact same reason. My therapist goes, what do you want? I said, I want to know why I yell at my kids like that. I just want to know why, because it's not me. Like, what the fuck? And I talked about it on the show, and the psychiatrist broke it down. And you know, and it was, they're my most prized possession in the world, so I'm terrified that I'm doing something wrong, and PTSD takes over, and I lose my shit. Right? And so don't be afraid to admit it. Everything like, if I admit this, if I do this, if I do that. No, fucking do something. All right? Go to therapy. Go get help. All right? Do it. You owe yourself that, and then you owe your family members that. Just go do it. And so yeah, a little serious turn on there, but I want to talk about fear. We already talked about that. It's okay to be afraid, but it's not okay to let fear control your life. All right? Because you will stay down. All right, you will never get up if you let fear control you. And then here's the other aspect of that: the contrarians, right? Not aliens, but contrarians. And we talk about them with virtue signaling all the time. They're the worst people to have in your tent. All right, a contrarian is going to tell you that you're not good enough. All right, a contrarian is going to tell you about themselves when you're trying to do something great. All right, they're going to talk about how they failed. They're going to make sure that you know that you're not good enough. Right? They're all around us. All right, and the beauty is, well, sometimes we're that contrarian, but if you're an adult and mature, you understand what you're doing, and then you say, "I'm sorry. I took over your conversation. My bad." All right, so that's all the big girl's got to say today. Is
I'm pretty good today, Nick.
Yeah.
That was good, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, I got a little inspiration from Frankie V.
Yeah.
Right. So, you know, and it was good seeing him again, and it was just amazing that he had the exact same problem I had.
What does he do
now?
now?
He's working for some tech company out here that's doing software for suicide prevention as well. So,
Nice. Okay.
yeah, we're getting there. He just retired, but
wow. Oh, damn.
Yeah, long time.
Wow.
Well, yeah, Lupita, again, sure, you're being a contrarian right now. Just because I started something for Maui, you're literally being the person that I just said is shit. Okay? Like, did you start anything for Canada? Did you do anything for Canada? Right? Like, nobody asked me to help with Canada. All right? It didn't cross my mind. Somebody asked me to help with Maui because I served there.
Now you got triggered.
What the hell? Like, hey, Lupita, send me your operations plan for what you did for Canada, and I'll listen to you. But all right. So,
I guess the difference would be that the people that live in Hawaii didn't start
Americans.
That fire.
Americans.
And they are Americans.
Maybe, you know?
And the Canadian fires were started by the Canadian Forestry Service. So.
And was it killing 3,000 people in Canada, or was it just making the air shit?
It's making the air shit.
Yeah.
Shit, yeah.
Anyway,
Which will probably kill
whatever.
thousands of people
You know what?
10 years down the road. But yeah.
Let's benefit of the doubt it.
Yeah.
He's in Japan. Maybe there's a time difference. We know that there's a thing, and maybe she's just tired because I don't understand what that last message said anyway. So, you know, the thing about the Maui thing and the thing about the Canada thing, if we really want to talk about it, is that, you know, the other difference is that.
Oh, but she might have been being nice. So if you're being nice, I apologize, Lupita. We don't understand what you're typing.
Yeah.
So
I don't get what that meant.
It is 4 o'clock in the morning there.
But
Yeah,
the
there you go.
difference is that not a lot of, you know, billion-dollar corporations and gurus went to Canada to try to buy up all these people's land when they caused it to be burnt down, and then are trying to pay pennies on the dollar for land from a bunch of indigenous people. You know, we could talk about how bad America is and what we did to indigenous people in the past. Well, the past is the past. Maybe we just try real hard not to do that again. And starting of that is to say, nah, we're not gonna just stand by while you take advantage of people that don't need to be taken advantage of. Like, you owe them to build back their shit. Like, you know, we can't call ourselves righteous if we send billions and billions of dollars to a country that has nothing to do with us, and then we talk about sending $700 to some Hawaiian, that just
is that really a thing? The whole
$700
$700 thing, is that really like I saw a video on it? I thought it was satire. Is that really like what's
no,
going
I
on?
think it was a real thing. I didn't really look into it because to be honest, it's not above. $700 is the payment that we like to make. COVID, here's $700. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
the big problem is
family,
hotels
by the
too
way.
that are
Per
the
household
hotels over
family.
there that are like overcharging people to stay at their hotels now, like just hiking the prices.
Yeah,
like
$7,000 a night.
man.
So we
Like-
we have a lawyer on Task Force Lahaina that she has already offered her services there, and part of that again to help the people. Of
That's
Maui
illegal.
Part of people in helping people in Maui is the disinformation. All right, and that's why you got to stop the conspiracy and stop talking. Just get on the ground and talk to them because a lot of their land is uninsured. All right, so it's going to be hard for them if they don't understand what's going on. Like to not sign something that they shouldn't sign. Right,
I mean, that shit happened in New Orleans too, man, with the insurance companies and stuff. It was brutal, man. So many people were taking advantage of.
The thing is the difference between, like, say, Canada, like Lupita talked about.
No, I think Lupita was trying to be nice to us, so we apologize.
No, I know. I'm saying the difference between Canada, which Lupita brought up, or New Orleans, which Nick or Dave brought up, is that those were caused by. Well, I mean, Canada's not really much different. It was caused by the government. They were the ones that the forestry services worked for them that started the fires. But New Orleans was a natural disaster. There's something to be said for there are other ways to pay for it. This was so far it's looking like a power company bad power line that they invested in green energy instead of their infrastructure that they already had caused the fire. That sounds a lot to me like the power company is about to pay to build everybody's house. Like, it should be a fairly cut and dry. And as far as like hotels or anybody charging $7,000 a night, I mean, really all the mayor and or the governor have to do of Hawaii is enact a state of emergency, and that's illegal. Like, if you have an ice storm in Tennessee, for instance, and there's a state of emergency, the tow truck company can't charge you $1,000 to pull your car out. They can only charge you a set amount because there are legal protections against price gouging.
Mm-hmm.
The same as you can't drive down to Florida every time there's a hurricane and sell generators for $20,000 for a $300 generator because it's illegal. You can't do that. Like, so I don't understand.
So how are they getting away with it then?
Well, I don't know if is there a state of emergency there?
It has to be a state of emergency.
Yeah, there is now for sure. And again, there is truth to some stories. Like I said, we just gotta let it it's hard to not spread disinformation to hurt the people.
Well, how many people have been affected by this? Like, how many Hawaiians have?
I don't think that number is identified.
Not even close yet. It's 1,000 dead starting right now, and
but I'm just wondering in those towns how many are affected because it's not like the Army doesn't have tents.
Well, right, and then again, that's part of the thing too. That's the bureaucratic red tape that we're going to avoid with Task Force Lahaina. Is that we're just going to go on the ground and get people what they need. And speaking of that, we're not fundraising yet, but we're devising the plan, and then we will call on fundraisers, and we already have a bunch volunteering on the thing, and then that's great. So, but anyways, let's get over to our guest.
Been some serious conversations
Buddy,
here.
As an owner, and I wanted to bring Cliff on the show, but he's at a car show because Cliff's not.
Cliff is a partial owner.
Yes,
Cliff is, what we like to call the biz a minority owner.
Well, I don't know. Like Guy is my mom's husband. Guy, my stepdad is invested too. So I don't know. He might own you, buddy. He's got some.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I would like to say.
One thing we do know is PJ doesn't own anything.
What I know is that I own one additional share. Then
and that's all that matters. That's
the difference between minority and majority. One share.
So let me give it, as we get into this discussion, let me give everybody an update real quick. So we literally just closed the round Monday. We raised that whole $7.5 million.
Wow.
Yeah. So the round is closed. You can still go to the investment page and get click on the link there because we're opening a second round here very, very shortly. That share price is going to be $12.50 per share. It's a $200 minimum buy-in. But everybody who listened and got in on that first round at $10 a share, your stock value went up 25%.
Boom.
Because we're about to open
Buddy,
the
you haven't
second
even
round.
checked it, huh? You just found out.
Boom.
Buddy's like, I just looked at it.
I don't know what I'm
buddy.
gonna do. I don't really know what I plan to do with my $250, guys. But
hang on to it.
I'll send you my Cash App, buddy. I'll send you my Cash App.
Well, I'm gonna get all my dollar bills and just start flailing them at people. Just saying.
And the great thing to my fellow owners sitting in this room is we did exactly what we promised we were going to do. We went out and bought a brewing facility on the East Coast in Norfolk, Virginia. And now we've got a regional sized brewery that's going to let us brew beer, allow us to brew beer from North Carolina all the way up the Eastern Seaboard and over to Ohio, and just scale our business out. So exciting stuff.
Damn. Well, I think for everybody, yeah. Why don't you, Alan? Why don't you just like, obviously you've been on the show before, but like for anybody that's watching, just like kind of talk about what you guys do and everything. You know, you might have already done that last time, but we got new viewers and everything. So just like talk about what, you know, because everybody's like, what are they talking about? Shares, beer, like, just let us know. You know, tell us your story, brother.
Yeah. So I did not have the pleasure of serving like you great veterans have in this room, but I come from a really extensive military family and had a uncle and three cousins that went to West Point, two nephews that one served in the Army and one just graduated boot camp from Fort Sill. He's going to be an Army medic, and had two uncles. Yeah. Two uncles that are Marines, dad in full career in the Air Force and Air National Guard. My brother, career Air Force, now with DHS. And my grandfather served in the Navy during World War II. So we had a lot of military going on. And I kind of bypassed going to college. I went to the University of Nebraska for like a year, went in the boxing team, got my ass kicked. And ended up dropping out of college and going into the food and beverage industry. So I knew that piece, and just we kind of put this together, Armed Forces Brewing Company, making tribute beers that tribute not only the service branches that you guys have served in, but also the services within the branch, the infantry, the airborne, Green Berets, the SEALs, aircraft carrier, deck crews, and Top Guns. You know, that's what the beer is tributing, along with some patriotism, preamble, We the People, light session lager, a tribute to the Constitution, the preamble of the Constitution, and the oath that you men and women take when you guys enlist, the incredible oath. So that's what we're doing. We got an award-winning brewmaster. And who's won the Maryland Governor's Cup for brewing excellence. I think Bob Ruprecht is probably one of the best brewmasters in the country. Because I'll tell you what, you got to be proud of your liquid. You got to be making good liquid. If you're going to grow a business like we've been growing, the liquid's got to be good. And I got to tell you, I may be biased, but I don't think we have a shitty beer in the whole portfolio right now. I think they're all individualized and have their own flavors and are pretty good. Straightforward beer.
They are very good. This is two of them already down. We got a whole...
Yeah, Dave doesn't even drink beer that often. So
I know. We were talking about beers earlier. What's your strongest? What's your favorite beer? Like for somebody that's watching, if they're like, I need to try these guys out. Like, what beer should I? What's your favorite one?
Man, I'll tell you
all
what.
just equally awesome. You know.
They're all so different, so they're all equally awesome, and each one has kind of a story behind it, not only of the service that it tributes, but a story behind why we made it. You know, I'll tell you what. This just came out. This is our Ground Pounder Double IPA. It's a 9.0 ABV, and this is our tribute to Ground Pounders. You know, Army. But this name is going to change to Grunt. We found somebody that owns the name Ground Pounder, so we're changing it to Grunt. This sold out right away, and I'll tell you what. When I opened the first can and tasted this, I was honestly freaked out about how great it was, because it is just absolutely a tasty IPA, double IPA.
I like
if
IPAs.
You like IPAs.
Yep.
It is awesome. And I know you guys have a box of this coming. I can't wait for you to try it. But it's such a popular segment. It's the biggest growing segment in IPAs have been around for, they've been number one for a while.
Yep.
So this is just absolutely incredible beer. But, special hops is good too. This regular IPA at 6.7 ABV. It's not an in-your-face hoppy IPA that's going to smack you up. You're not going to struggle through it as well. And this is the one that we kind of had the idea of making when we were at Navy football tailgating, because we got tired of struggling through a really hoppy IPA. So we made this, and we actually got this into Navy Marine Corps Stadium concessions, and it sold out every home game. So, but they took it out of the stadium concessions. Navy Athletics got pissed off at us because we made a beat Army and beat Navy beer that year.
Nice. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so they were mad at us. So they don't like us anymore right now. I don't know. Maybe that relationship will rekindle next year. But this is good. And then, what can you say? The lagers. This is that really light Bud Light alternative lager right here. This
one was really good. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, it's so easy drinking. It great on a hot day in the summer.
Yeah.
And this is just selling like gangbusters, But you got your other lager too. I'm going through the last one. Cat Shot American Craft Lager. I mean, this is that 5.3 ABV. It's pre-prohibition style, so it's got a little maize in the brewing process, and it's just,
this
buddy,
I think a little stronger.
You and Faceman were drinking this.
Yeah.
I mean, this is killer. This is born and made in Maryland, so we were drinking this stuff with crab cakes and oysters and all that kind of crap. Oh, hell yeah!
So
and
Maryland does.
So good. So
what do you guys plan on the flavor profile of the? Well, two questions. The flavor profile of the airborne beer. Question number one, because it's got to have a little bit of bitterness. It's got to have
a little bit of bitterness like that. Yeah.
Maybe some bitterness, and then it should all come with a Motrin, with one Motrin on the top of every beer.
And salty, right? Little salty too.
Little salty. Better when you put a little salt. That would be like some type of Corona, but bitter, like a little bitter Corona. Yeah.
There you go. And then Richard Hodges on the chat thread wants an MRE beer flavor.
Will each can have a tiny parachute on top that you can drop them? Like they won't hurt themselves too bad. They might dent the can, but it won't poke a hole in it too bad.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Hey, Alan, for kind of what I was talking about
earlier. Be able to answer the question?
Yeah. Let me answer the question.
Sorry.
It was a real question from
you kept going where it wasn't a question anymore. It was
Nick's all over the place today. Mountain Standard Time in the mountains.
There's mountains right there.
Keep your mouth shut while I talk to my employees. All right?
Yeah. Yes.
Don't ever
disrespect
me in front of the employees again.
Alan, you may answer the question.
All right, boss.
Thank you, sir.
As you were, go ahead.
I want to keep my job.
Carry on.
So yeah, the flavor profiles there. This is why we have an advisory board of people of men and women from all the different branches to advise us on exactly what you were explaining there. A Motrin on top, a little bit of sour, a little bit. You know what I mean? We get that, and we're going to try and make some of those beers with those kind of elements in there. So you said salty and sour. There's so many things you could do with beer right now. It's incredible.
Just give a little salt packet for the rim, the rim in it, and they would be salty as they are.
Airborne beer, salty as you are.
Yeah.
And you guys, this is the great thing about getting your own brewery is we can actually do this shit because we're packing our own beer now. You know what I mean? We're not contract brewing where we have to, adhere to what they can do there. We can do all that kind of stuff. So we want to do stuff just like what you guys are talking about.
That's hilarious.
And it'll just make it even more of a tribute and even funnier as we go along.
Do you guys? Go ahead, buddy.
Like Sean Lowry said, you need to have something that pairs well with MRE peanut butter.
Yeah, we've got a beer.
Do you guys ship throughout the entire U.S.?
So
somebody's
not the entire U.S.
I need to get this beer today because they're watching the show, or they watch the show tomorrow, or whenever, and they're like, I want some of this beer. Like, where do they go? And then do you guys ship everywhere?
Yeah, so right now you can go to armedforcesbrewingco.com. You can go on the beer locator and find a place in the state. We're in 8 states right now. We're about to branch out into about 17. Mm-hmm. We have a shipping partner called Yanni's Wine Store here in Virginia Beach. They can ship beer to 36 states. They're licensed to do that. And we're in the process of, we just landed here in Virginia. We've got our own brewing facility now, and I've just signed contracts with 3 huge Virginia distributors. Nice. So that beer is going to be coming up from our contract brewing partner down in Florida. It's going to hit our distributors here in Virginia, and they're going to be able to get that beer out to Yanni's Wine Store. They've actually run out of product right now. They're out of product. It's selling so big.
Wow.
So
congratulations. I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah. So in the next 30 days, we should have that running back up, that Yanni's Wine Store where people can buy beer. 30 days or less, actually. So, yeah. So we're just growing like crazy.
Yeah.
But somebody said something about a peanut butter MRE.
Yeah.
The MRE and a peanut butter.
Interesting.
Yeah, make some peanut butter beer. Yeah, let's just call it MRE. You can
Yeah.
call it just the MRE beer, and then have like different flavors in the 6-pack. Like one's a beer, a peanut butter, one's a jalapeno cheese. One's a chili mac.
Well,
I was just gonna ask you what's the best MRE, and I think chili mac probably hits up there in the top 3 or 4 or 5, doesn't it?
Yeah, right.
Chili mac, beef stew. I think those are the 2.
Chili mac's the one that you can eat cold and not hate yourself.
Yep.
Exactly. So Ranger School, that was a must because you didn't have time to heat it. So you always went for the chili mac. I mean, you fight over chili mac. But hey, Al, I had a question for you, maybe for some of the future entrepreneurs out there, and like what we talked about earlier with embracing ambiguity, the journey. Like we had you on the show, and I remember you guys were just getting started, and what you've already gotten to it's just fun to watch because I follow you on Facebook, as you know, and like I'm always watching the updates and seeing what's going on. Tell us about some of the times maybe you had doubt about going the direction of getting a brewery, or like when you thought like, oh crap, like was there any ever a time where you're like, maybe we shouldn't do this?
I'll tell you what, funding was a huge issue. You know what I mean? I knew this
until
was
Buddy bought his $250 worth of shares.
Yeah.
500.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you, buddy.
Buddy saved the company.
Now we're $750.
Yeah. I spent 8 years of my life developing this concept and putting this together. 8 years. Wow. And going through trial and error and test marketing it and seeing if it would go. I just always knew it was going to be big and big. But the venture capital community was not funding projects in craft beer anymore. That ship had sailed. They were only doing technology. And of course, then COVID hit and that locked everything up. And I happened to find a way where you could be a private company. And this was a better way to fund the company anyway, and bring in everybody from the military community that would be interested in something like this. So we found an SEC, it's called an SEC Regulation A public stock offering. You're a private company, you're selling stock in your private company. It's basically a program that was put into place in 2012 for small businesses who were not able to raise money from the venture capital community or private equity or angel investors. So I found a securities attorney that knew all about this stuff. And I reached out to him and he said, wow, you guys have a great concept. He had taken a beer company called Brewdog, who's now a $2 billion beer company. They've been through these SEC Regulation A stock offerings. They've done about 10 of them, I think, and have raised around $200 million, and they have 200,000 shareholders in their company. I saw that business model, and I went, I want to do that. I want to bring in everybody that veterans, active duty, their families, whatever, and bring them in so that they can own a piece of the company as well, and we can raise the capital that we need to go and scale the business. So I found the securities attorney. He turned me on to this, and he said, I will take you on as a client. I've had hundreds of breweries contact me ever since I did this Brewdog company. And you guys have the secret sauce. I'll take you on as a client. So boom, we launched our first round, and I'm happy to tell, like we closed it Monday, $7.5 million. We've got, I think when I was on your guys' show, I think we were at maybe 1,500 shareholders in the company. Now we got close to, was it around that, buddy?
Yeah. It was pretty low.
I missed that episode. I think I was at my mom's wedding.
It hadn't started very long.
Yeah, now we're at almost 9,000 as we close the round.
Wow.
Over 75% of those are military veterans or active duty. Another 24% of those shareholders are from military families, military family members, had somebody that served in their family in the military. Mm-hmm. And that's an awesome story, an awesome business model. Now, what I want to do is help other veteran entrepreneurs. I'm not a veteran, but other entrepreneurs, if they have that business idea, anyone who has that business idea, and they start developing it, and they're looking to go the same route that I went, I want to help veterans, do that. And the people that I'm connected with on these SEC regulations that are experts in this stuff, they want to help veterans as well, fund those businesses. We can't have enough veteran-owned businesses around this country. You know what I mean? We can't.
Cheers to that.
And it does so much for veterans to create jobs for them. We're talking about PTSD and all that good stuff. The worst, and by the way, Scott Mann is on our advisory board, and I'm meeting with Scott in Nashville next weekend. I'm excited to see him and see his play. Yep. He's an incredible.
Have you seen the play yet?
American. I've seen it on YouTube. I saw it when
he came out here to Phoenix. Phenomenal.
Did you?
Man. Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
That plays in Nashville when?
The 26th. I'm going the 26th.
Buddy. There you go.
In Nashville.
Go, buddy.
Oh, I'm gonna have
Why are you going to go?
Buddy's in Nashville.
Yeah, I've actually got friends coming in on that day.
Do you?
Buddy, I'll start email with you.
Brother, it's over in Franklin. It's over in Franklin. Why don't we offline? Let's exchange info and let me see what I can do if you guys want to come.
I'll start email thread with you, Scott, and we'll see what we
Scott will call you, bro. I went like backstage the day prior, and I was talking to Scott, hanging out with him, and it was cool. I got a nice plaque from Gary Sinise, because we donated, VTT donated to we bought lunch for the crew.
Who's Gary Sinise?
You mean
Sinise? Yeah. It was cool.
Speaks 3 languages, guys.
But we're making a donation too because we really believe what Scott's doing. We really believe in what Scott's doing.
The play is super moving.
Yeah. So anyway, that I want to help other veterans that have the entrepreneurial spirit, and our goal is to be 70% veteran employed. We're getting ready to open up some major positions. These are not. We have positions that are going to open on the production side for veterans who might want to get into the beer industry, but also on the sales side around the country. I mean, we're scaling into a national brand, you guys. So we're going to have salespeople in all those states that we're going to. And those are good paying jobs, for veterans. Who better to talk about a veteran tribute brewing company than a veteran,
right?
Yeah, than a veteran. So we're doing that. The other thing, we're opening the second round, and it's a $5 million round. We want to open more tap rooms around the country now. That's what this funding round is for.
Yes,
now, when
and we want your tap rooms in our Veteran
Yes.
Trash Talk Hangouts.
Yes, absolutely. But what I want to do is create a franchise model for those taproom fooderies as well. And I want to be able to raise enough capital to help a veteran buy without having to have that personal wealth, buy that franchise, that Armed Forces Brewing Company taproom foodery franchise. Because I've had veterans reach out to me from all over the country, in Colorado Springs, where the Air Force Academy is, in West Point, wanting to open oh man, how do we get involved, or how do we get a franchise? Are you doing that yet? So that's where the business model that we're going to as we grow.
That's awesome. No, great,
exciting
great
stuff.
Yeah.
And you guys have grown pretty quickly too. I mean,
Man.
it's been. I mean, it seems like it's only been, a few months. I guess it's been a year or more since you guys were on the show. But you guys have gone from nothing to something quickly.
Yes,
rather quickly.
Yeah,
from something to something big. They weren't nothing, buddy.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Well,
they were
an
nothing.
idea.
That was pretty mean.
An idea. I'd hate to be a contrarian.
I really didn't believe in you back then, but now you're finally.
Yeah, you were
kind of what you just said.
You were nothing. You were nothing a year ago.
Of the three people,
nothing.
It's all right, buddy. You can't take that back. You already said
of
it.
the three people on
well-
this panel, I am the one that is part owner. So
HEB Supermarkets in Texas brought us on.
My stepdad is an owner as well, so that's family. So buddy. So I'm an owner too. Then
my stepdad is a owner too.
hey, don't try to don't try to get away from what you just said.
You got your own money, dude. Don't make your daddy pay all your bills.
I just buy their beer in Texas, so that's how I own it.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
I'll have to look for this in Arizona. You guys don't have anything in
I'll
Arizona
tell
yet,
you what, we're going to branch out in 2024 your way.
I'm here. Keep me in mind.
Yep. We are definitely going to branch out to Arizona, California, get that hit a lot of more territories in the country.
Yep.
As we grow this. Seriously, it's just a matter of time. We're going to open the brewery here probably in around the end of September or October, and start rolling that beer, and just start scaling this out. By 2024 here, I think we're just going to be full steam ahead. HEB Supermarkets picked us up, Publix picked us up, Winn-Dixie picked us up, Food Lion has picked us up. All the chains,
nice.
Chains are just
the big chains.
Did you just say Food Lion nice?
Food Lion.
Yeah.
Hey,
that was the only one out of all the chains you just named. That was the only one that I.
You haven't been into a Food Lion since you were like an E3 in North Carolina, right?
You better put some respect on Food Lion.
No, there's one around the corner from here too.
Yeah, right.
Partner.
He goes. He Uber shops. He doesn't even go to the store anymore.
Uber shops.
We do.
But, hey, guys, I got to run back to that convention. So, Alan, great seeing you again. Got to go do some talking, even more talking. It's going to be fun. So
there you go.
Yeah. All right, we'll see you guys later.
All right, Earl.
Later.
Talk soon, brother.
Go ahead, buddy. You were talking.
So, I'm gonna announce this first here on Veteran Trash Talk. Okay, we're talking with Carnival Cruise. Huh? Yeah.
I'm happy you waited until Nick left. Fuck yeah.
Carnival Cruise Lines is going to pick up our beer as well. So that's exciting for us. Yeah, we're excited to do that as well. And that with doing that, not only do we get our product placement in the Carnival Cruise Line ships, but we get to potentially maybe give away some cruises for veterans, in need, that's the exciting part of it is some of the giveaway stuff that we're able to do with that partnership. That would be great.
Yeah. That is awesome. That's awesome. So how much,
man, Alan,
how much does
go ahead, buddy.
say a 12-pack of cat shot cost? By the way, cat shot is my favorite.
I just had another cat shot. This is my second.
Yeah. I'm working on my third.
So
my wife's already staring at me, and it's like, Yeah, it's gonna be a long day.
Yeah, 6-packs are going anywhere from like $8.49 in a military exchange store, $8.49 to maybe $9.99, $10.99 a 6-pack, depending on the beer. And then out in regular, we get a little break in the military exchange stores, but out in particular retail, it's anywhere from like $9.99 to $12.99 a 6-pack. Depends on what beer it is and that ABV.
Yeah,
that's not bad at all.
Yeah.
For a premium 6-pack of beer. This isn't beer. Like, I will say, like, the preamble and the cat shot. The cat shot is a really good, like,
this one's strong.
You're not wrong. Like, if it's a if you're hot, just cut the grass. Cat shot would be good.
Yeah.
The preamble, but both of them are not a, like, I'm gonna stick a key in the back of it and, like, freaking shoot it down.
Right.
Beer.
No, you want to enjoy it.
They're a beer that you actually, like I said.
That's why I'm drinking it out of a glass.
I'm on my third. I think on my third one. None of them are so cold. Like, and that's the thing. A lot of people don't know about beer. Like, the colder it is, they want you to get it cold because then you can't taste it. But these aren't these aren't very cold. And I mean, they have I'm not a huge fan of the taste of beer anyway, but these are actually really, really, like, they taste good. Like, I could drink most of the ones that you sent me. Not gonna lie. Like,
awesome.
They're good. Yeah, it's a quality, good tasting beer that you can literally just sit down and enjoy having a beer or two. But I don't know that you would want to have a 12-pack. You might end up on the floor quicker than
and I want to tell everybody
in about 10 hours, buddy.
I'll text you
in about 10 hours.
Let me tell everybody out there too. When you go to buy this to ship it to a state, it's really expensive too. Unfortunately, we don't control that. The price shipping beer is expensive.
Yeah.
FJB on that. What's going on with shipping price? So yeah, it gets expensive, but that's not our business model. Where our business model is to open up every state in the union for distribution. That's where we're going, to where you can get that $8.49 to $10.99, $11.99 6-pack price.
You were talking about opening up, like, if you needed salesmen, you needed, like, people to try to what does that look like if, say, like, a veteran is watching this right now and he's like, I had the cat shot, tastes good, I really like it, I enjoy the product, I got some time, I want to, like, try to pimp this product. Like, how would one go? Like, what is the process of selling to a distributor or selling to a store or getting it on the shelves for a salesman, if you would?
So here's what we have right now. We have what we call a mercenary program, where we are hiring veterans part-time, like a 1099 on the side. To go and go talk to retail stores, talk to draft accounts like restaurants and bars, tap rooms, and go and they're salesmen, they're boots on the ground salespeople, part-time is what they are. And people can go and apply at jobs at armedforcesbrewingco.com. They can send us their resume. And we're going to be collecting those resumes and opening up mercenaries as we branch out. We're getting ready to open North Carolina, Georgia, South Carolina, New Jersey. We want to hire mercenaries in those states to go out and sell our beer part-time. Then once we really get growing, brewing our own beer here in Virginia, then we're going to bring some of those people on full-time as career positions.
Yeah.
So we'll be announcing those jobs here, gosh, in 30 days or less. Seriously. We're looking for
to the website or.
Yeah, we'll be doing those on our website. We'll be posting those on our website, on social media, on LinkedIn as well.
We'll post it on all of our platforms as well, because that's definitely a message
absolutely.
To get out. Yeah.
And I mean, we're looking for C-level positions like chief financial officer, like a chief marketing officer. We've got an events coordinator, not just a local one for Norfolk. We need one here, but we need a national events coordinator as well. We're going to grow into a big beer conglomerate is what we're going to do, a veteran-owned big beer conglomerate.
Yeah.
So,
and are you guys are you just trying to get into stores, or like if there's say a brewing company that you could join or not join with, but they would also feature your product, are you okay with that? Like how are you trying to, I guess, grow?
we're okay with anyone picking our beer up that wants to. We're so chain heavy. We've done it completely different than so many other craft breweries have. They start out hyper local, and they might do some local retail stores, but we went directly to the chains, and it worked. They wanted our beer. They wanted our brand. So while we, the chains, that's hundreds of stores at a time. Those mercenaries are going out to these individual draft accounts. We call them, on-premise accounts, where they put draft beer on there. Those are the tap rooms. The other, maybe another brewery that does other beers from other breweries, restaurants, and that could be like Hooters, chains like Hooters or Twin Peaks or World of Beer, or you know what I mean?
Out here,
yeah, it's huge. Anyone on a mercenary is out there, boots on the ground, door knocking, breaching doors, whatever you want to call it, parachuting in to those accounts and signing up for draft accounts and getting paid for it.
Yeah.
That just helps us grow.
Of course.
Yeah.
Expanding. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow, this has been a great conversation. I know Chris already messaged. He's got to wrap it up because he's going to an Offspring concert tonight or something like that. So
maybe you could talk to them about having a Armed Forces Brewing.
right.
Chris.
But buddy, you want to cover the AAR? You got the AAR for today?
Yeah, I think I do. Aliens. Who knows? Yeah,
Peruvians are still fighting. Yeah,
maybe they can fly trillions of light years and then accidentally hit the side of a mountain. And they like bird strike. They don't have birds on their planet, so it's weird for them. Anyway, so that's a thing, and we got them. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the ability to shoot down aliens.
It's the one thing I want to know about before I leave this world. It's the
Don't
one
worry,
thing
you'll figure
I
it
want
out
to know
when
about.
you-
Face Man, I know you think that. I think you're the same way.
Yeah.
It's one thing I want to know about.
100%. And I think we will. I think it's coming in our lifetime.
Probably.
Fingers crossed.
Maybe when you leave this dimension, when you die, you go to another dimension.
That could be a
You
thing
are an alien
too.
Who knows?
Anywho, and then check out Armed Forces Brewing. Like they have. We have only had the preamble and the cat shot. I'm gonna tell you, I've only had 3 of them, and
well, he said the other ones are coming. The other, what is it?
Special hops IPA. This is 6.7.
Okay. I'll do a video on that. And I'll post it on our socials.
They're delicious. They really are good. And to believe me, I would tell you if they weren't. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm scared of you. You work for me, dude.
It's called Vet Trash Talk for a reason.
But they're good. They really are. A really good beer. But if you're looking for employment, you're looking for something to do, you want to do it part time, check out Armed Forces Brewing and be one of their mercenaries. Go out and try to sell some beer. I mean,
that sounds so mercenary.
We like beer.
How you guys named that.
Dude.
Yeah.
Dude, how awesome would it be to bust into like a food line somewhere and be like, I'm a fucking beer mercenary. Take my beer. So anyway, check them out. Check out the round 2 of the shareholding is coming out. And be a part of something. You're gonna buy beer anyway. You might as well buy beer that you own part of, and you get something back from it. And it gives back to the community. So, hey, what are you gonna do? You go grab a Bud Light, or do you want to grab a cat shot? Because the cat shot tastes good. It's better than Bud Light. I will tell you, I would probably not have used that as a descriptor because it's better than Coors Light, which is my main beer. And but this Cat Shot, the preamble, both of them delightful. They're good. They
Buddy,
really are.
you're like an ambassador right now. Listen to you. I mean, it's
Hey,
your company,
I'm gonna be a
company, right?
mercenary.
It is your
I'm gonna
company.
go grab my helmet.
It's company.
Buddy's ready to be a mercenary, you know?
You know what? The best way to sell beer, from what I've seen, is they put a camouflage face on and then show up at their house in the middle of the night and just stand above their bed. Be like, you want a beer?
Awesome stuff. Alan, final words.
Maybe
brother.
not do that. Just joking. Anyway.
Final words. Gosh, guys, you know, you guys have been watching us from a long time ago, watching this thing grow and grow and grow. And I love what you guys do too. And you know, we're going to keep growing this puppy and employing more veterans and helping more veterans as well. Use our success to do that. I think it'd be cool once we get the brewery open to have you guys do your show live from our stage or something.
Oh yeah, we're in. We're in.
I think that would be cool as hell.
Absolutely. We're in.
So
yeah,
we might have to put something like that together.
Yep. We're in. Hey, phenomenal stuff. Yeah, appreciate you. I really appreciate the beers. I'm
glad you
feeling
love
them
it.
a little. Yeah. Everybody that tuned in late, go check out veterantrashtalk.com. It's got the links to all of our shows, podcasts, all that good stuff. Go check out shop.veterantrashtalk.com. It's got our merch. Today I'm wearing Just the Tip. All right. One of my favorite shirts over here. And then to everybody that tuned in today, thank you. Lupita, Lupita's gone mad now. Huh? Like, no, I could shit on a tree and give back to the communities. I bet it's good when you suck on these nuts. Okay, Lupita, I don't know what's going on. Thanks for tuning in anyway. Check us out again next Saturday. We'll see you guys later. Boom. Awesome stuff.